Hi, this is Cecilia from Tarot by Cecilia, and today is Friday, November 25th, 2016. The tarot card for today is the Ace of Swords, and I chose the one from the Housewives Tarot. If you take a good look at it, it's always so indicative of holidays with the Housewives Tarot. I used that last year for the actual Thanksgiving date. But I know so many people out there who today, are grabbing that knife and carving a turkey a day late because not everybody can get together on the actual day. So it could mean that. We're just going to throw that out there because many people will spend their day this way, all right? But it's also more than that. We had that Jupiter-Pluto square yesterday. And we have this whole new vibe, this whole new era coming in. So many of you are now stepping into your power, stepping into this new era. It's like finally, and especially when you look at many Ace of Swords cards, okay, not necessarily this one, but it's usually where that sword is being handed to you and you can take charge again. It's like a huge victory in your life. So there's definitely something important going on. I know around here, many people aren't working. Other people that I'm aware of have to work because perhaps they're in retail and it's a big day. It's called Black Friday here. But, I have to tell you, there is a very, very positive feeling to this. And I think it wants to continue, like to build. And it's leading toward how you're going to live out your future for quite some time. That's one of the reasons that I keep telling everybody, take your time, because the choices that you're making now and the things that you're doing and working on, they're long term. And you need to have a great deal of clarity, which this energy here will bring you in order to take charge of a situation. So there's definitely something happening here where I want to say you feel victorious over a situation. Maybe it's not the one at the top of your list, because I'll be honest with you, I see that coming up in a couple days, and we're still going to be talking about it. But what's interesting is that as of late, if you really stop and you think about this chapter, of the last 4 or 5 years that's just ended for you, right? You'll realize that it ended when you say to yourself, gee, I haven't had anything major happen that has set me back in like the last 2 weeks. And it's really significant. But I'll be honest with you, I noticed it here with everything I had going on. And I will not even begin to tell you the absurd story about all of my technology challenges and breakdowns and dead equipment and all of the things that happened to me. But the moment that they suddenly started to go right, I sat up and took notice, let me tell you. So, there is something going on in your life that you're going to say, yeah, I can see where things have finally changed. Because it's not that one step forward, 2 steps back. It may not be easy. It may not be where you want to be. But, when challenges arise, you're there. You can handle them now. You have been released from the grips of Saturn and Neptune. Kind of. It's direct, at least. And Scorpio. All these years of all that Scorpio energy, which I'm a Scorpio, but the placement of things that were going on, they were rough. They were really, really rough on many, many people. And, when you stop and you think about this, it's like I'm always saying, what affects your life, a lot of it has to do with the people around you. So if you had someone who was maybe a Scorpio, Cancer, Pisces, who felt it more, it trickled into your life too, even if it wasn't all about you. And now that whole mode is changing. And that's what this is about. This is where we are. We've stepped into something else. You're stepping into your power. You're going to start to see that you have victories coming up. I think one after the other. And you're just going to keep working at it until one day you're just kicking up your heels and saying, wahoo! And does that mean life is perfect? No. It's never going to be that, bliss that we all think would be nice. I always used to tell people over the years that if I never had a bad day, how would I know when I had a good one? Anybody ever see the Stepford Wives? You know, and everything was always just so wonderful. Life's not that way. It's not realistic. So if we have been through the hard times and we get to the good times, I think we can appreciate them that much more. And that's where so many of you are right now. So this is a very good time, you know, in this holiday season, no matter what holidays you celebrate, for being thankful. For being thankful that you made it this far. You survived all of Saturn's lessons. Lord only knows why there have to be lessons, but they're there. And that's it. And you're good to go. You're moving forward now. The next thing is to figure out where. So I want to thank you all for listening, and I'll see you here again tomorrow. And as always, have a great day.